Two teams will go in the semi-finals is anyone's guess, because this competition is wide open and it's going to be a fantastic next 3 or 4 days of wheelchair basketball. 3x3. The action comes thick and fast at Birmingham 2022 in the men's basketball 3x3. It's New Zealand against England. The hosts get their chance to take to the court. How exciting that will be for this excellent crowd here at Smithfields. A debut for 3x3, and here come the Tallferns. Sorry, the Tall Blacks, excuse me. Into the fray they come. Richard Roger and Ty Wynyard come in first of all. Wynyard 6'10", 208. Martin Henlon alongside me, Dan Strange. This is a power-packed New Zealand team.
Well, for New Zealand and England, straight into the fire. No time to share introductions. They've got to come out ready to go. These teams are all a little bit familiar with themselves. Both the men's running and the women's running had a little bit of a friendly tournament at the beginning of last week, but they wouldn't have shown their full weaponry. And now it's time to do battle in earnest. And there's always a bit of nervousness when your New Zealand expectation, the Tall Blacks, but for England on their home court, the nation awaits.
Very much so. Melanson comes into play. Followed onto court by Kane Henry.
What you'll notice, Dan, about this England team is they are all very similar in height. We talk about coaching strategies, selection strategies. They're all the same size, which means they are interchangeable. You saw Australia men earlier on, they've got a definite point guard in young Wright. But look at this England team, all 4 of them, just about the same, 6'7", 6'8" in size. That means offensive and defensively, they will always interchange against the best matchup.
And the home lad, Miles Hessen, comes in, Birmingham boy.
Yeah, I haven't heard his Brummy accent yet, so I'm not convinced. Well, maybe take him down the old local in Wheelie Castle, where I used to drink when I was a kid, and see how Brummy he is.
Well, the fans are expectant. We're now going to have the haka. I think the crowd enjoyed that.
I think that is a first for many in this crowd. We're all familiar to seeing the haka on the rugby field. But on a 3x3 half basketball court, that was a joy to behold.
But that was just like taking the second one in the flankers and only letting them do the haka in rugby. That was made an impact.
One thing you already seen him watching the teams warm up. We've had one slam dunk in every game so far. You watch this England team in the warm-up, they're already flying. And this New Zealand team, This is two teams that play around the rim. We could see something a little bit special here. You already mentioned Miles Hesson for the England team, the hometown boy being portrayed as the face of England basketball. But I think you need to watch a young man here. They got called by the name of Kane Henry, number 11. This boy jumps for fun. This is going to be fascinating. Pressure on England and New Zealand as well. Both of them their first time under the bright lights of Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games.
Bezic with the check ball to Hesson. Good movement there from Henry. Bit of confusion. And Hesson then takes the first shot. Takes the second shot and nails it as well. First 2-pointer goes Hesson's way, then Bezic drives his way through and finds one.
Well, straight away, Hesson showing why he's the poster boy. 4-3-X3, showing the range, confidence from two. And then New Zealand scoring straight away, and you see there, that time Jamal Anderson, because England have got such size at every position, they just find the smallest player on the court and post him up, and that's what did Anderson there. Straight away drawing the foul. New Zealand, by contrast, they've got a couple of bigger players. With Roger. And Calvin Poto, rather. But the others, Roger, point guard, Bezic, a point guard. So they've got size and quickness. England can switch every single time. There is no chance for New Zealand to isolate. They're going to have to be able to make shots from deep.
Calvin Poto, 6'6", Wynyard, 6'10". Here is Calvin Poto. Roger. Post up, Wynyard drives inside off the glass and finds the one-pointer in close. Good play from him.
Top finish there by Wynyard. He's the experienced 3x3 player.
Hello, Anderson. And then comes back with a bit as well.
Hello, basket. This is what 3x3 is all about. Take it to the rack. Jamal Anderson fired up. Now, I know the feedback from that friendly tournament they had was nobody wanted to play against England twice. And you see a reason why there. If they can stay focused, take advantage. This is going to be a tough team. I was skeptical because I haven't seen them play yet. All the expectations, historically in the Commonwealth Games, it's been New Zealand and Australia. This England team, though, they have shown they've got a point to prove.
And Henry with the dexterity as well to stretch it now to 5-2 to England.
And we're talking about a team that can shoot the two ball. We've already seen that from Hesson for England. But they can just throw the ball up in the air and any one of the four players can go get it and finish. And that's going to be a nightmare for the opposition throughout the tournament. Well, I'm going to add to this though, Dan. New Zealand has experience and they have game and match practice.
Nice, in close. And Miles Hesson, it's a fast start of England. Really running New Zealand ragged at the moment. And then through goes Anderson to just put it down. Shell shot for New Zealand.
And the thing is with this England team, every substitution, it's just the same. It's like, okay, they've got different hairstyles, that's how you pick them apart, but they're the same physique. And they're playing with a level of intensity here. Question for England is whether or not they're ready to play tournament basketball. See how impressive that Australia team was earlier on today.
Wynyard, that's for two, doesn't get it, whistle goes on the plate.
Not sure what the call is. I think the referee's more a double foul. Referee's just conferring underneath. Both hands raised and the arms crossing normally means two fouls. So, which means possession. You don't have a jump ball situation, so the possession arrow is in favour of England. Next time we have a similar situation, it would go to New Zealand.
Just overshoots slightly. Roger picks up the rebound. Commonwealth drives through off the glass, finds the one, and New Zealand get it back straight away.
This is where the experience of New Zealand.
Wynyard glass finds another, and again New Zealand immediately were looking to put pressure on England.
And the technical foul call, because that's the second time New Zealand has stopped England from getting the ball back beyond the arc. And if there's a weakness in this England team, it's because they're all the same size. If you've got bigs like Wynyard and Commonwealth, it's very difficult to stop.
But just as someone that's never watched the game, when a point is scored, when a basket is scored, you have to allow the other team to remove the ball over the arc to essentially create the offense again. You can't put pressure immediately and stop them getting the ball out.
Well, the little semicircle under the basket, you cannot contest the ball in the semicircle. New Zealand were warned for it earlier on, and they've just done it again. You can steal the ball as they're trying to throw it out, but you can't contest in the arc. And that is a technical foul, which means one free throw and possession to England.
Just relieved a bit of pressure that England were feeling in those last two plays. Henry misses left-hand side, Besant immediately across. As you said, Martin, Besant, one of those 2 point guards in the team.
And see what New Zealand have got. In Commonwealth and Wynyard, they've got two bigs that are great at taking up space and getting good position on the basket. And that's where the guards start to have an effect. Jaden Besant, for example, and Richard Rogers, they can both pass the ball inside particularly well.
Ty Wynyard just came into the game and immediately in the referee's ears was telling him what he'd seen from the bench. Trying to have an influence. Jackman takes the ball, steps outside the arc. Does he put it down? No, he doesn't. Commonwealth comes across. Besant pops it inside his Wynyard. Can't find it on the reverse either way. And then a little bit of headering as it comes back down.
I'll tell you what, the size of both of these teams means they take up an awful lot of space on the court between them. I'll tell you what, there is an Achilles heel for England. It's going to be their shooting range. Hessen, we know, is a verified 2-point shooter. After that, I'm not convinced, even though all 4 players are very experienced at the highest level, especially outdoors. The wind is, we already said, twice as strong as it was yesterday. It's gusting and blowing. I think I'd try and take it to the basket as much as I could.
They've left no stone unturned, though. They've had training sessions with the mighty Serbia during the run-up to this competition. Bullet and Co, that's not something you turn down.
Well, just to put that in context as well, Serbia are all conquering. Olympic champions, world champions,
club champions,
every championship you can imagine. Caught a foul there on Wynyard going after his own missed shot over the back of the England defender.
Serbia, Tokyo, third place of course. Latvia took the gold. It was a phenomenal competition though, Martin. It's very much hotter than it is here in Birmingham today. But the entertainment exactly the same.
Well, and just for context there, when you talk about Latvia, Olympic gold medalist, that is the opportunity for 3x3. You know, whenever you talk about basketball, everyone thinks, oh, it's the Americans. It's always going to be America. It might be a Serbia or a Croatia. Anyone can compete. All you've got to do is commit to developing the team, and that's what Latvia did. And on the stage, ultimately, you've got to get to 21 points. We'll have the high score for 10 minutes.
It's 5-8 here, 6:54 left in the game. Jackman looks for 2, and it sails home for Jackman. And England are out to 10. Now Commonwealth. Henry tried to come across and reject and couldn't do so. Hessen, good physicality. Whistle went a long way before.
7th foul for New Zealand, so free throws to come for England. We're going to have a TV timeout. Wynyard continue to talk to the referee. Jackman, with his time to get his feet set and making the 2-point shot. And just to put the whole win thing into context, for anybody old school Hollywood fans of basketball, there was a movie called White Men Can't Jump, right, which is all about playing outdoor ball. And the thing was, you've got to know which way the wind is blowing. So if the wind's blowing across the court, you want to have the wind on your back. You don't want to shoot into it. That's the sort of context, that's the sort of angle basketball, these guys have got to change the game. That's the difference between 5-on-5 basketball and 3x3.
It is the fastest growing sport in the world.
And the beauty of 3x3 is it's always played outdoors. You know, that's something that you've always got to factor in. Of course, normally basketball historically is a winter sport, so you practice indoors. So how do you do that year round? You have stadiums like this, and this is how you practice.
Yep, there was rain in the air earlier on. None on court though. We're under a roof. The sides open. The stands packed. Pheasant trying to find a way round OJ. Puts it up, misses.
Good defense there, and again, England interchangeable defensively. So it's very difficult to beat them. But the screen and roll that we talked about so much so far, almost unused. Can't use that against England, but they've got size. They pound it into the middle, and England do not have a big rim protector.
Chapman once more tries to find it, but short, flat on the shot. Pheasant happy to sit on the pivot. Wynyard
expected to finish that kind of play.
Esson using his pace past Wynyard, but Wynyard protected the basket well. And then OJ came in and put it down for 12-7.
That's a tough finish from Jackman. Off offensive rebounds against the taller, more physical New Zealand team. But there, Pheasant showing the advantage that you have. As the game gets close, as you get down the stretch, one thing that England do not have, that New Zealand clearly have, is a little guard that you can spread the floor and he can go one-on-one, get to the basket and either finish the layup, as Pheasant does there, or they get fouled and go to the free throw line. And that's some of the subtleties that we're going to see as this tournament develops.
Each team can take a timeout, and the timeout has been called here. 8 points to 12. 5:29 left in the opening game for these two teams. England, one thing that they will be very pleased about in the nearly opening half of this match, of their first match here in Birmingham, is they've settled their own nerves. They've come in here, they've played in a good way with an intensity. They've got the crowd going as well, which is vital in 3x3.
Exactly. You know, there's that first game nerves we talked about all day yesterday. Well, today, for the running game, everyone in Pool B is playing twice. They've all had their first game to play. This is the first time for England's men. England's women coming up right after it, so don't breathe out before you don't even put the kettle on. Come straight back to us. But England have come out well against the team. Yes, they would feel on their home floor in Birmingham, not in Auckland, they'd expect to win. But it's not been easy, but that's how competitive this Group B is going to be. You've got England, Australia and New Zealand all in the same group. The only two go to semi-finals.
They're on the moment there between Anderson and Cameron Poto. He stood waiting for the free throw to be taken. He's sharing Joe. Roger drives. Doesn't go from that time.
You've got to make that. That's the shot New Zealand need to make.
Hesson has position. Oh, and it's ripped.
New Zealand changing strategy. They've got the two guards out there, Roger and Pheasant, and they're starting to have a little bit of success.
Henry jump shot. Rattles it and goes.
Did you hear him say please when he shot that one?
Hands are together in prayer. Cameron Poto spins it out to Roger. He's looking for two. New Zealand need it. They don't get it. Henry comes away.
See New Zealand just probing at the defenses of England. Great defense. That is excellent defense. This is where suddenly New Zealand saying, hold on a second. We can go with a smaller lineup. And Roger, not trying to block the shot. Take him underneath, and after they're spreading the floor, they go one-on-one. There's no help from the England team. This is what they've got to have. They've got to dig down. And one of the things that they learned playing against Serbia is rugged defense.
Chapman steps out, sends it up. What a two-whistle coming as well. OJ asks for more. The crowd offer it back. This is 3x3 at the Commonwealth Games.
And this is Orlan Jackman bringing the fans into it. He nails the two-point shot. The step back fading away, contested by Cameron Poto, and one. And because the foul count, New Zealand have already committed 9. This can end up a 4-point play. That is a game-winning, not just a game-changing play. They're in the bonus, make the 2-point shot, get fouled, and get 2 more free throws.
He works to take the sport of basketball into schools around the country. And here he's taking 3x3 into homes around the world, OJ. Jackman got 3 from the 4 points available. It's 17-9. Henry finds Anderson, who slams it, taking full advantage.
Well, I told you to look out for Kane Henry for slam dunks. Oh, Jamal Anderson said, no, my brother. I got some hops as well. Take it above the rim.
There's a fabulous explainer video from England basketball of Jamal Anderson trying to explain 3x3. The outtakes are superb. He needed no outtakes there. First time of asking, slamming it home. 18-9, 4:03, England here. Could be about to really make their mark on this competition.
Well, the thing is about the way England has played, they've been relentless. So although New Zealand have shown that they've got some things they can work on, fatigue now starts to take.
Oh, lovely catch, Martin. Absolutely brilliant. You're in.
No,
Someone
before
gets
you
into
ask me, no. There's a rumour of it. I've not got a pair of basketball shoes in my wardrobe anymore. Okay, I got one.
You didn't even have to look as the ball came to our commentary position. Just took the ball. Jackman once more, the star of the show.
Okay, I'll go in now. We got 1 point to win.
England have a point to finish it. Bezen says, I want to keep the game going. Hessen, good from him. Pace, pops it up. Finishes it as well. Cool, calm and collected from Miles Hessen. England are so good, and they take the opening win in some phenomenal style. The Tall Blacks were pulled to pieces. England have taken the win here in front of a delighted Birmingham crowd.
Well, they came, they saw, and Brommy delivered. Miles Hessen with the exclamation mark for the finish. 21-10. They've made a statement. We saw a superb performance from Australia in the first men's game this morning, at the beginning of this session. England closed out the men's session in style. That is something to behold. And you see the fans love it. And Orland Jackman, OJ to his friends, gets player of the game.
Sorry, Orland Jackson, as you say, player of the game. Let's have a look at the statistics. 75% from 1-point efforts for New Zealand. For England, 62, 8 from 13, but outside the arc, 4 from 8. New Zealand didn't hit one of their 6.
Well, that's plus 8 points for England. 4 from 8 from downtown. New Zealand goes over. Every other stat gets thrown out the window when you've got that advantage.
4 points for the game. Let's have a look at what that means to the standings. Australia and England are locked together, a win apiece, an impressive win apiece. New Zealand shell-shocked, England starts so well. Pool B